I also can't wait to watch your return to Grey's Anatomy. I do feel like you, me, and Jesse Williams all manifested this moment.
I know. I saw you tweet that, and I was like, yeah, I think you maybe did, because I saw the clip from your interview with Jesse, and then I know the last two times I've spoken to you, you've always been like, would you come back? And both times I answered very honestly, which is like, I wouldn't say no, but no one's asked me, so what am I gonna do? So yeah, it was cool to see all that come together. I was like, I bet Katie's excited right now.
Oh, I am over the moon excited. How did it feel to get the call to come back, and how long did you have to keep this a secret for?
Yeah, I mean, I had to keep it a secret for a little while. I didn't fully believe it was happening until I literally signed the contract, which didn't come until, a while after the initial conversations. It started with an initial conversation. I was like, this sounds interesting. The story sounds interesting. Let's have Business Affairs reach out and see what happens, And then, but you never know. You never know if the storyline is going to change, or they're going to change their mind, or it's not. I didn't really settle into the reality that it was happening until I knew 100% it was happening. And then by that point, I was about to show up on set. And so I was like, oh, I can't wait to see everyone.
Yeah. How was it that first day back on set?
Well, it was so wonderful. I felt so just warmly embraced. It felt like coming home. My heart just leapt. Every person I saw, I was like, I've missed you. It was a very sweet homecoming.
We've seen the promo. I think it's one of the most dramatic and exciting promos we've seen in a very long time in all of television. Where is April when we see her again? How is she doing? Is she still married to Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, she's still been living in Seattle with Matthew and co-parenting Harriet, and that's where we pick her up. Everything that you've all assumed of where she's been, that's where she's been. I think people got confused because he was driving a long distance, and they're like, April doesn't live 11 hours away. No, she lives in Seattle. They've been co-parenting this whole time.
Okay. Well, what brings her and Jackson together for this episode?
That is a thing I cannot say.
Okay. Is it something big? Because it does seem, though, like they haven't been in contact, because you sort of see him in the car talking to himself, asking if he's really talked this through, or should he be doing this?
I can't reveal anything about the reason he's coming to talk to her, but I think it's important to realize that nothing changed in their interaction of co-parenting this child. So it's not like they've seen one another. They've been co-parenting this whole time. I don't know exactly what the custody is between the two of them, but he has Harriet sometimes, she has Harriet sometimes. So there's a handoff that's happening all the time, continuously throughout the pandemic.
So they're in a good place, would you say?
I would say they've always been a healthy, working, co-parenting team.
Do you think there's still feelings there?
I don't know. I can't tell you anything.
I mean, she's happily married. What do you think she'll think of Joe and Jackson's relationship?
I have a whole list of things
But
that's
you're
like,
not
don't reveal, don't reveal, don't reveal, don't reveal. So
Okay.
I think I've told you as much as I can
As
tell
much
you.
as you can. So then I'm not going to ask you anything else about the plot, but I will just ask this. Does this episode in a way give Jackson and April closure? Just because the fans, after April left, they were left wanting more and more. So do you think this gives them closure or hope?
I would love to answer that question, but I also cannot answer that question.
Okay, all right. Well, do you think that this opens the door for April to appear in more episodes going forward?
It would be lovely to come back from my perspective. No, I think the door was always open for April to appear in more episodes because she was still in Seattle co-parenting with Jackson. So it's just a matter of what works for the story.
You said you watched our interview with Jesse and how much he just praised you and adores your friendship. What was it like to share the screen with him again?
It was so wonderful. I felt like, when we first saw each other, we're like, it just feels so good. You know, we have such a fantastic working relationship together, and so much history in developing this storyline and this relationship that became so beloved to so many people, you know. And so there's just a lot of like beauty in like the 9 years of what we got to do together on the show, and the friendship that we built on the show. So it really felt like no time had passed. And I remember especially after this one moment with him just looking at him being like, it is so easy. It's so easy to act with you. And he's like, I know. The other thing I think that's so cool about these two characters, having had such a long time to develop a story, is that you have so much information to draw on from so many years that were on screen. They weren't just imagined. They weren't just something that we, you know, you create as backstory. It's like stuff that the audience has tracked and seen, that we have played, experienced, and taken a journey through. So there's so many layers that you can play together when you have that kind of breadth of time that you've spent on screen together. That is so rare. You just don't get that. I mean, shows don't last this long. You don't have that much material to draw from in most cases. So it makes the whole thing feel so much more human and so much easier and so much more delightful and like juicy.
Well, you guys are magic together on screen.
Awesome. I'm so excited for everybody to see it. I'm really pumped about it.